smart people. I'm Stenell, also known as Stenell the Money Therapist. Welcome to my channel. I want to talk to you about Bank of America. So I want to do a quick video. They're offering 0 down payment, 0 closing costs to Black and Hispanic communities. So I have my girl right here, Debora Spence, and in the neighborhoods that they're targeting, it is Charlotte, Dallas, Detroit, which I have Dr. Spence here because she is from Detroit, Los Angeles, and Miami neighborhoods. So the reason why I really want to talk to you about this is because I've been through something similar to this back in the 90s. It was called the HEART program, and it was back in Camden, New Jersey, and it really targeted communities. It was Black communities, and it was people with low economic status. And I went through a group, and it took about 6 months. I was supposed to come out with not only a certificate, but be able to be a first-time home buyer. And that didn't really plan out for me. And it never really happened. So when I heard about this, we're talking about what? Almost 2 decades? Yeah, two decades later, I wanted to jump all over this because one of the cities that they're talking about is Detroit. I had to bring in Dr. Spence. So, can you give them some information on Detroit? Because as I see what they're, when they're saying no down payment, they're saying 0 down payment, 0 closing costs. But they're also saying that the eligible individuals have to obtain a loan to purchase a home. Mm-hmm. So, can you give me some information on Detroit?
Well, when you called me, I immediately got on this, and I called Detroit. I called my office, and I do sublease. I have an office in Farmington, and I spoke with a friend who owns an insurance agency, and she did confirm it. And I also called a realtor. She did confirm it, and she says it's not just Blacks and Hispanics; it's anyone. And although they said no closing costs or no down payment, she says they're giving $10,000 to $15,000 at closing, and with a minimum credit score of 620. And that's not quite clear in the article.
It's not.
But in driving through Detroit and going home, I've driven through neighborhoods, and I thought, my God, how is this going to come back? Well, I see that this can be a program that will not only bring back the neighborhood, and if you have 10 or 15,000 after closing, then you can work on your home. But I see it as an opportunity for Blacks to be able to stay in their neighborhoods because Detroit is being purchased quickly, and not even by people who live in Detroit. They're just purchasing very quickly.
Okay.
And
investment.
It's an investment, absolutely. So I see this as an opportunity to be able to stay in your neighborhood. Now, the article says that you can prove that you've paid car insurance on time, or that you've paid your rent on time, that you're worthy of payments. But as I understand that it was a 620. So I don't know if it's either or. So I would be wary of that. But it's going to take something huge and a miracle to bring back some of the neighborhoods. And I was wondering how it was going to happen. I do see this as an opportunity.
Okay. So you see this as an opportunity, mm-hmm. and you see it as being real, not something that is just something that the banks are just doing to get people in.
I do. In some kind of ways, it's reparation, because there's certain institutions that have not had a great reputation when it comes down to people of color. And so, I do appreciate this, although it may be, on the back end or a long time coming.
Well, it says not just color as well in the article. It does say that. It says that it's not just Black communities or Latino communities. It could be anyone as well.
That was confirmed. But I certainly hope that Blacks in the city of Detroit, people of color, there's some Southwest neighborhoods with a lot of heavily Latino, and as well as other neighborhoods that are heavily African Americans. I certainly hope that they take advantage of this and become homeowners and not just renters. I would hate to see other people come and buy their properties and then they rent from them. So I would say own your own property, make this happen for yourself.
When you spoke to your friend, did she mention anything as far as sometimes there's some type of stipulation to where you can't resell the home?
She didn't mention anything like that. She owns an insurance agency, and she was writing a policy for one of the people who took advantage of it.
Okay, all right. So people are taking advantage of it.
I certainly hope so.
And I'm glad that, I am really glad that I thought about you to get you to be a part of this, because when you read an article and then when you are, basically when I am researching, I'm seeing different other information out there that is the opposite. So when you speak to someone that actually in the middle of doing a policy and confirmed, that's all I want to do is just bring the real information to the audience.
So what I'm hoping is that people of color in the city of Detroit and other places would take advantage of programs like this, become homeowners themselves, because if you have money, if you have property, you have money. And
say it again. Say it again.
Property, you have money.
If you have property, you have money. That's the truth. That is the truth.
And you have power.
You do.
You do. So get out there and own a piece of the rock, baby.
Own a piece of the rock. So I am really glad that we were able to talk about this, because I was thinking in a whole different mind frame. And so when Dr. Spence did her due diligence for us, of course, for all of you, and found out that this is real. So anyone that you know that actually needs this.
Yeah, well, if you have the closing cost and you let Bank of America pay the closing costs, then you can put that money into your property, because it's going to take some putting money into the property
in the neighborhood,
code and just to make it livable and but don't put your money in a bag with a hole in it. That's renting.
Don't put your money in a bag with a hole in it. That's renting. Okay. Before we go, do you think that young people, like our children, my children 22, my son 28, do you think people should rent before they purchase, or just go and just purchase?
I'm not rent oriented.
Okay.
I have a son who's now 35, and when he was about 31, he purchased a property in a high real estate. I mean, really good, land area. And
he's sitting on equity.
And I paid his closing points, because I wanted him to own. And he began to acquire equity immediately. So own. Cut down on the wedding. You don't have to have a $50,000-$60,000 wedding. Cut it down to 30. Get yourself some property. Okay. And then you can turn it into income property when you buy the house you want.
Okay. And I agree. I am all about ownership, but I will say this. My son, in our situation, he had to move because we made a quick, immediate decision to move to Florida. And so sometimes when someone in their 20s are renting for the first time, they learn how to live. They learn how to pay bills. They learn how to be responsible, because the children, they just don't have that. And so if they're on their own, now they're hustling, and now they're like, okay, I'm paying X amount of dollars in a month in rent, and it makes them wake up and do the right thing. And even though it may seem a little backwards, it gives them that little that I believe that they need in order, to do what they need to do.
Well, anytime in life when we know better, we should do better.
Absolutely.
So if you know better at 30, fine. If you know better at 40, fine. But when you know better, you have to do better.
I love that. When you know better, you do better. So this is real. Bank of America. It is real. It is out there. You just heard it. It's confirmed. Anybody that you know, mom, aunties, uncles, sisters, cousins, go. And if you're a first time home buyer, your children, right? But see, these are certain cities. Miami, I was thinking like, Miami, that's not too, 3 hours, see if the kids want to do that. But anybody that you know, and they are in these targeted cities, Charlotte, Dallas, Detroit, Los Angeles, and Miami, give them this information. Yes. Let them start now. Yes. All right, y'all. Please subscribe to my channel. Thank you.